Next, let us discuss about the units in Ansys Workbench. A unit system is a collection of preferred units for the base, common, and other quantity types. These are the unit systems that are available in Ansys Workbench. We have the metric unit system, which is the default unit system where mass will be in kgs, length will be in meters, seconds, degrees Celsius, amperes, force will be in newtons, and volts. Similarly, we have one more metric unit system where the mass will be in tons, length will be in millimeters, time will be in seconds, temperature in degrees Celsius, the current will be in milliamperes, forces in newton, and millivolts. And we also have another unit system which is US customary, where the mass will be in lbms, length is in inches, seconds, degree Fahrenheit, amperes, force is in force will be in lbf, and the volts. Then we have one more unit system as SI unit system, where these are the quantities like kgs, meters, seconds, kelvins, amperes, newtons, and volt. And then you have one more unit system which is US engineering, where we have lbm, inches, seconds, rankine, amperes, lbf, and volts. Now, these are all the default unit systems that are available, and please make a note that these default unit systems cannot be deleted, but you can create new systems of your own if they are needed. So now let us understand, if you want to create new unit systems, how to do that. So we come to the Ansys Workbench project window. Click over here on the Units tab in the main menu bar, and we will come to Unit Systems. Now once you come to the unit system, you can see over here that these are all the unit systems that are available. By default, we have some 16 unit systems that are available. But if you notice that here outside, you can see only 5 of them. Why? Because all the others, if you see from here, the others are suppressed. Because they are suppressed, I cannot see them outside. But if you remove this suppress option, close it, and you come back and see over here, that unit systems will be added and will be available outside. So if you want to see any of the unit systems, you can just remove the suppress tick from here. So these are the default unit systems that are there. Now let us say if you want to create your own unit system, what you need to do is, you need to select the unit system and click on the duplicate button over here. You get a new unit system, and then you can rename it. Once you have renamed it, you can see all the base quantities. So in this particular unit system, I want to measure the angle into degrees. The chemical amount or the current should be into milliamperes. The mass should be into kilograms. The time should be into milliseconds. Pressure should be into bars. Forces should be into dynes. Length should be into microns. So I can create this unit system where all the quantities I can change according to my needs. And then I can also say close. So now if you see, you have one more unit system over here which is called as the user defined unit system, which you have created. Now this unit system that you created can be deleted. I can delete this unit system. You can also export this unit system to an XML file which can be used later on, or you can also import it. So suppose if I want to export this unit systems to one of my colleagues, I can export it. Or let us say if my colleague has created some other unit system and I want to import it, I can also import it. So the file format is .xml format. So this is how you can create your own unit systems and manage the unit systems in Ansys Workbench. Now let us discuss about the file formats that are available in Ansys Workbench. If you see on screen, these are all the main file extensions that are used in Ansys Workbench, which you should know so that you recognize the files. So for a Workbench project file, the extension is .wbpj. For a archive file, the extension is .wbpz. .engd is an extension for the engineering data file, which stores all the material information. Then we have .agdb extension, which is for the design modeler file. Then we have .fedb, which is an extension for FE modeler files. .cmdb, which is an extension for the meshing file. .mechdb, it is mechdb, which is an extension for the mechanical file. .rsx, which is an extension for mesh morpher. .ad, which is an extension for the Ansys autodynamic file. .dxdb, which is an extension for design exploration file. .bgd, which is an extension for BleedGen file. .db, which is an extension for the mechanical APDL file, which is Ansys classic file. .cas, .dat, .msh are all extensions for FLUENT files. .cfx, .def, res, .mdef, .mres are all extensions of CFX files, and .cmdb is an extension for CFX mesh files. So now you know what are the extensions. Out of this, we will be majorly working on WBPJ, WBPZ, ENGB, AGDB, CMDB, .db. These are the most commonly used extensions that we will be using in the coming chapters. Now let us understand the components of a system. Every item that you add to your project schematic window is called as a system. A system is comprised of individual component systems called as cells. Now every analysis system has some common cells that occur in every analysis system. Now that is engineering data, geometry, model, setup, solution, and results. In this, engineering data cell consists of all the material information that is required for the analysis. The geometry cell consists of the model that is required for the analysis, and the model cell consists of all the mesh data, the boundary condition, load information, all the other analysis settings that are required for the analysis. So these are the most common cells that occur in every analysis system that you add. Now let us discuss about the cell states. Now whenever you add an analysis system, you will have some cells that will appear in every analysis system, and there will be a status that is adjoining with every cell that you add in the system. So now let us understand these cell states. If you see a blue colored filled question mark, then it means that it requires attention. If you see a blue colored question mark but which is unfilled, that means there is no data and it is unfulfilled. If you see a green colored tick mark next to a cell, that means that cell is up to date and that information from that particular cell can be transferred to another cell. If you see a green colored symbol like this, it means that cell requires refresh. It needs to be refreshed. If you see a green colored arrow with a yellow colored green colored tick mark with a yellow colored arrow, it means input changes are pending. Let me show you this. Now if you look at this analysis system, we have given all the information and all the information has been given and it has been performed. So you see a green color tick mark everywhere. Now in this case, if I go and make any changes in any analysis system, for example, if I make some changes in the geometry, now if you see, we have one geometry over here. The dimensions are 50 by 10, the length is 50 and the width is 10. Let me make the width as 25 and I will generate the model. So the changes are done. When I close the geometry, can you see now the cell states have changed? The model now requires refresh. Now because the upstream data means just above this model there is some data that has been changed. That is why this cell now requires some refresh, and once you refresh this, it shows that this input will change. So if you look at the symbol over here, input changes pending, it is this symbol over here. Okay, then if you see a yellow colored thunderbolt, that means that cell requires update. If you see a refresh button with a cross mark, that means the refresh has failed. Means if you have tried to refresh but the refresh has failed due to some reasons, and you need to refresh it again. Similarly, if you see a yellow colored thunderbolt with a cross mark, red colored cross mark, that means the update has failed and you need to update that cell again. If you see a question mark, blue colored question mark with a cross mark, that means the update has failed and attention is required. That means some data has been wrongly entered over there and you need to quickly attend that cell so that you make the corrective actions over there. If you see a yellow colored thunderbolt with a sand clock, that means the actions on that particular cell are pending. And if you see a green color tick mark with a pause button, that means it is interrupted. That means you have paused the solution for some reasons and we want to continue it later on. So these are the cell states that you need to understand. So all this is, we have understood some basic things about the Ansys Workbench GUI. We have understood the features of Ansys Workbench over here. We have also understood what is a project schematic window, how to add analysis systems, how to work on an analysis system, what are the different types of toolboxes, what are the unit systems, what are the file formats, and what are the common component systems.